In 1986, a group of friends in San Francisco celebrated the summer solstice around a bonfire. More than 3 decades later, that bonfire has morphed into a week-long event in the Nevada desert with thousands of people gathering for a festival of art, music, and self-expression. Playa Fire, Spirit and Soul at Burning Man, weaves the history of the festival with more than 250 gorgeous photos from Burning Man's inception to present day. Please welcome the author, award-winning photographer, Stewart Harvey. Welcome. This is such a beautiful book. First of all, though, there is a family connection to Burning Man. Tell us about that.
Well, the family connection is my brother was the person who originated the idea, probably many years before it happened, but he wasn't talking.
Larry.
My brother Larry. And on a personal level, my son Brian and I, it's been our father and son outing since 1989. And we go down there, we see a lot of friends, we have a great time, and I take a lot of pictures.
And you probably never really thought that those ideas would,
there's a funny
30 years
story.
later.
Larry and I used to go into the town of Gerlach, and you could go in and out the way you pleased in the early 90s. And on the way there, I asked him a question. I said, how long do you think you're going to be doing this Burning Man thing? And the question had all of the subtlety of a father asking his son how long he wanted to remain the lead singer of his garage band. And Larry looked at me and he smiled and he said, we're just getting started. I've got plans. And he did have plans.
I love it. He did have plans. So what's it been like to see this event evolve over these 30 years?
It's been nothing short of amazing. As a photographer, you go out early, and when it's time for the burn, we had to get out early enough to get a spot to be able to photograph it. And then all of a sudden it's over, and everybody's gone, and they're all out, your camp's gone, and it's just you out in the middle of the desert with a tripod over your shoulder, trying to figure out what to do next. And I'd had that experience of walking back to camp alone after all this stuff was happening, and it's ethereal. You're surrounded by light, you're surrounded by sound, and there's an ocean of sky over your head with stars.
And it's just you.
And it's just you. And half of the magic of Burning Man is being out on the Black Rock Desert. And I personally believe that had the event not had the good fortune of being introduced to that beautiful, blank, pagan terrain, we wouldn't be having this conversation today.
Well, when I look at your photographs, and there's tens of thousands of people there, yet your photographs make it feel as if that same feeling is you're the only one there.
There are a lot of beautiful Burning Man photographs. There are a lot of great photographers out there, and there's a lot of spectacle. I've concentrated on what I believe are individuals having personal moments, personal experiences, acts of creativity that get enlarged into traditions.
Look at that.
That was actually one of the temples. And the temple is something that got introduced by David Best in 2000. And they come in all shapes and sizes. We call them temples, but they aren't temples in the religious sense. They're temples in the Grand Canyon Cathedral sense.
Very meditative.
Very meditative. And they inspire people to leave mementos, to make pledges. We built a temple in Ireland, and people did exactly the same thing as they did on the desert. They would leave memorial messages. They would say, I hope I win the lottery. I mean, there's everything you could imagine.
When you were choosing pictures for a book, how did that happen? Because you had many more than these 250.
Yes. Well, first of all, it's called Spirit and Soul, a Burning Man. So I had a focus for the book, and I was looking for pictures that fit the chapters. There are 8 chapters that are narratives, and the narratives begin at the beginning and they go through to the present day. And there are 8 chapters that are photo chapters, and they're thematically arranged. So there's a chapter on the desert itself. There's a chapter on life on the playa. And so I chose photographs that sort of fit the theme of those moments.
Spirit and soul. So 30 years you've been photographing this. Is there still something that makes you go, ah, does it get old?
It never gets old. And I never miss a sunrise, because a playa sunrise is magical. No, there's a surprise around every corner. The only thing that compares to it is we went to Africa a few years ago, and when you walk around the corner and there's an elephant looking you in the eye, that's the experience of going to Burning Man.
I love it. And what you said, I think, really resonates in the sense that there's a surprise around every corner if you're looking for it, and that's magic. Thank you so much. Stewart will discuss and sign copies of Playa Fire at University Bookstore in Seattle tonight at 7. We've linked more info on New Day's website. And coming up, a unique program celebrates the culture and food of Iran as part of a friendship exchange between Seattle and the Iranian city of Isfahan. And I might have butchered that, but we're cooking a few Persian fall favorites after this quick break.